Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Heather, I'm the Bent Yogi, and welcome to day 18 of our January Yoga Challenge. We're in the last week of the challenge. This week, today, a 30-minute practice. Today, we're going to get started in Ragdoll, so come onto your mat and let's get started. Come on to your mat, come on into your Ragdoll. Feet about hips width distance apart, and that's just a guideline. I find that hips width distance gives me a good steady foundation here, and that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for a steady, intentional foundation for this pose for yourself and this practice. This practice can give you a steady and intentional foundation for your day, for your life. Your hands can dangle, or you can grab your elbows, and you can start to tune into your breath. Take a big breath in, then a long breath out. A big inhale, then a big exhale. You can have a big or little bend in your knees. If you're in the forward fold, let your head drop. And if you want to add in a little bit of movement, maybe front to back or side to side, just kind of feeling out your foundation. Feeling the movement of your breath. Another big breath in. And a long breath out. And one more big inhale here. Let's exhale. Release your hands down to your mat and step back to your downward facing dog, or come on into your child's pose. You can add in child's pose at any point during your practice. So here, again, a steady and intentional foundation. Set your hands and spread your fingers wide. Set your feet, your heels can soften. It's not that you're trying to push them down towards the ground, but you're also not holding your heels up. Holding your heels up takes energy. Let your heels soften, redistribute that energy. Bring your attention and your energy into where you are, what you're doing right now. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. And then on your next inhale, come on forward to your high push-up, high plank. Shoulders track right over your wrists. Low belly draws in and up. Fingers spread wide, hands connect down, lift through your arms, lift out of your shoulders. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Take a full inhale, and a big exhale. As you inhale, come on forward to your high push-up, high plank. And as you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, come on forward, high push-up, high plank. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. And a long breath out. And from here, walk your hands back to your feet. Hips stay high. And then bring your feet closer together or to touch. Set your feet, steady foundation. Rise to stand. Come all the way up. Reach your hands, lift your heart. A big inhale. Hands to your heart. Exhale. Here you can set your gaze. Lower your gaze or close your eyes. Set an intention for your practice, for your day, if that's something that resonates with you. Let's take a big breath in. And a long breath out. On your inhale, sweep up, reach up. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift. Flat back. Take a couple of breaths here. Your hands can be somewhere on your legs, on your mat. They can even dangle. Steady foundation through your feet. Strong core, long spine. Take a big breath in. Fold forward. Exhale. Inhale once more. Rise up. Lift and reach. Fill up. Fold forward. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Now bring your hands to your mat and walk yourself out to your high push-up, high plank. Here you can have your knees lifted, or you can drop them down for a little more support. Steady and intentional foundation. Whatever it looks like, let it feel good. Take a big breath in. Move forward, halfway down, or all the way down for your low push-up. On your inhale, your cobra, your low cobra or your upward dog. And as you exhale, back to your downward dog or out in your child's pose. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And let it feel good. Even when it's challenging, feel that you have enough support for yourself. Right? The ground beneath you, our practice together, right? Your intention, your breath. Take one more big inhale. Exhale lightly. Walk or jump to the front. Set your feet. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. Inhale. Rise to stand. Fill up. Reach up. Fold forward. Exhale. Empty out. Halfway lift. Inhale. Hands to your mat. Step back. High push up. Moving forward. Halfway down or all the way down. Low push up. Squeeze your elbows in. Still moving forward. Upward dog, your cobra or your low cobra. And as you exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Here, set your gaze to one point, traditional drishti, or close your eyes. That's part of creating a steady foundation for yourself, supporting yourself in being here. Allowing yourself to focus on this breath, your breath. A big breath in, and a long breath out. Once more, a deep inhale. And as you exhale, step or jump to the front. Set your feet. They can be together apart. Halfway lift, flat back. Inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Once more, rise to stand, lift and reach. Now, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit down, sit back. Feet can be together apart. If your feet are together, work with your knees together. If your feet are apart, work with your knees an equal distance apart. And let your big toes, you can take a peek, be a little bit closer together than your heels. Not so much that you're pigeon-toed. You're going for more your second toes pointing forward, so your feet are flat and straight. And again, it's an intentional foundation. You're supporting yourself, building from the ground up. You have your hands higher at your heart. Take a big inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Hands to your mat. High push-up. Forward. Halfway down or all the way down. Low push-up. Inhaling. Upward dog, cobra or low cobra. Exhaling, back to your downward facing dog. Right foot steps to your right thumb. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Come on up. Set your feet. Big bend in your front knee. Long and strong through your back leg here. Hands higher at your heart. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Soften your shoulders a bit. Feel if you can soften your face and your jaw. Take one more big inhale. Exhale. Hands to your mat. Step back. High push-up. Forward. Halfway down or all the way down. Low push-up. Upward dog. Take a breath in. Downward dog. Breath out. Step your right foot forward again. Warrior one. And this time, add in your warrior two. Add in some space between your feet. I say that every time. And I know I say that every time. That's intentional. I take up a little more space. Sometimes we get stuck in habit. Sometimes that habit is making ourselves small. Right? So get a little bit bigger. Open up, expand out with your front knee tracking over your front ankle. Spin your palms to the sky and take your right hand high, reverse your warrior. Reach up and go back. Long and strong through this back leg. You're pressing down through your back foot, lifting through the leg. You can find a place that works for your left hand. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Now as you inhale, come back up to your warrior two. Push off for your half moon. Right, start to tip forward. So it might be, I pushed off too slowly. So you want a little bit of momentum to push off for your half moon. Not enough momentum, you can lose your balance. Too much momentum, you can lose your balance. Here, your right foot is flat and straight and your right hand in front and a little to the right of your baby toe. A block under your right hand or a water bottle can be really helpful in bringing the ground up to you. A little bit of leaning back, like you're leaning back against a wall. Shoulders can stack, hips can stack, helps to press out through your lifted heel. Take a big breath in, lightly drop back to your warrior two. And from here, come on into your horse. Pivot your toes to face the side edge of your mat. Toes turn out, heels turn in. Big bend in your knees, low belly draws in and up. Just begin with your hands at your heart. If you turn your toes way out and your knees roll way in, just bring your toes in a little bit. Now watch out for leaning forward. Feel if you can stay tall and upright in your upper body. On your inhale, sweep your arms up. And as you exhale, hands through heart. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart. Soften your toes. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart. One more time. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. Here, straighten your legs. Come all the way up. Pivot your toes in, heels out. You're still facing the side edge of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips or to your low back. Squeeze your elbows, your shoulder blades in. Drop your tailbone. Lift your chest, lift your heart. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward. Once you fold, hands can come to your mat under your shoulders. Stick in a halfway lift, long spine. And then fold forward as you exhale. If it doesn't work to have your hands on your mat, a block is nice. You can spin your fingers around. Walk your hands back behind you. You can come a little bit forward into the balls of your feet and let your head drop here. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Once more, a big inhale. And a big exhale. Hands under your shoulders, come halfway up. Start to pivot around towards the back edge of your mat. Walk your hands back. Your left toes point towards the back edge of your mat. Step your right foot in halfway or a third of the way. Left foot a little to your left. And rise to stand. Come all the way up. Here, interlace your fingers at your low back. You can add a towel or strap between your hands. Even out your hips, left hip back, right hip forward. Drop your knuckles down, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, a big inhale. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Hands come up and over. So you get into the shoulder rinse and a towel or strap between your hands. Might make that a little more accessible, maybe a little more enjoyable even. Feet are set, toes are soft. You can soften your knees here. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. A big inhale. And a big exhale. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, drop your hands. Right foot steps to meet your left. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, lift and reach. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit down, sit back. You bring your hips back, bring your knees back. More weight in your heels, your toes soften. Still a steady and intentional foundation. You're grounded, you're supported. You don't have to hang on. Take a big breath in here. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands to your mat, step back, high push up. Moving forward, halfway down or all the way down, low push up. Inhaling, upward dog, your cobra or your low cobra. And as you exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Here, step your left foot to your left thumb. Warrior one. Left foot to left thumb is a rough guideline. Right? Just so you have enough space, it might be that you take a smaller step, rise up, and then take your front foot a little more forward. Right? Generous with the amount of space between your feet here, but also generous in supporting yourself. If you take your feet too far apart, you throw yourself off balance. Right? Too much effort, too little effort, you throw yourself off balance. Take one more big breath in here. Exhale, hands down to your mat. Step back, high push up. Move forward, halfway down or all the way down, low push up. You can also drop your knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Left foot steps again. Warrior one, come up, rise up, and add in your warrior two. So here again, adding in space. Not so much space that you feel like you're hanging on. Front foot is flat and straight. Front knee tracks over your ankle. And you can still roll the baby toe side of your back foot down into your mat. Soften your shoulders. Let your shoulders track over your hips. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Spin your palms to the sky and take your left hand high. Reverse your warrior. Lift out of your left hip. Find a place that works for your right hand, whether it's your back leg or your top thigh, your left thigh. Take a big inhale and a big exhale. On your inhale, come back up to your warrior two. Now push off with the back foot for half moon. And start to tip forward. Reach for the ground, a block, your water bottle with your left hand. Your left foot wants to spin to the right, so you can take a peek at it, adjust it, straighten it out, set it intentionally, and then lift through your left leg. Work with your left hand, resting lightly on the ground, and it doesn't necessarily have to make contact, right? If you don't need your left hand on the ground, then you can let it hover. Drishti will help a lot. I notice that. Sometimes I switch my drishti and my half moon, and that kind of throws me off balance. So set your gaze to one point. Press out through your lifted heel. Your top arm can be higher at your right hip. And maybe even add in a little smile here. Take one more big inhale. Drop back to your warrior two. From here, horse. Pivot to face the side. Once more. Toes out, heels in. You can bring your hands to your heart, or you can add in your cactus goddess goalpost arms. Strong core, shoulders track over your hips. Lift your right heel. It doesn't have to be high. As you lift your right heel, bend your left knee. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. And then bring your right heel down and lift your left heel. And again, check in with your right knee, so you bend your right knee. A big inhale. And a big exhale. Left heel comes down. Now, lift both heels. You guys saw that coming, right? Little bit of balance. Steady gaze will help. Breathe for 3, 2, heels come down. Come all the way up to stand. Pivot your toes in, your heels out. Hands to your hips again, your low back. Lift your chest. A big breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward. Hands onto your shoulders. Halfway lift. Stay in this halfway lift. Maybe walk your feet a little farther apart. Bend your left knee and press down away through the baby toe side of your right foot. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, bend your right knee and press down away through the baby toe side of your left foot. Inhale, come to center. Now start to pivot back around towards the front edge of your mat. Walk your hands, spin your right toes forward. Step your back foot in halfway or a third of the way. Right foot a little to your right, so you have space right to left between your feet. And rise to stand. Come up, interlace your fingers at your low back. Towel strap between your hands, and if you're interlacing your fingers, you can put the opposite thumb on top. Switch all your fingers. It's the non-habitual way we interlace our fingers. Lift on your inhale, and then fold forward, hands up and over as you exhale. So if this doesn't work, or you want to add in a different hand variation, go for it. You can drop your hands on your leg, your mat or a block. Set your feet, soften your toes, little bend to your knees maybe. A long breath in, and a long breath out. A big inhale, and a big exhale. One more deep breath in here. Exhale, release your hands, left foot steps to meet your right. Set your feet. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, lift up, reach up, fill up, fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, hands to your mat, step back, high push-up. Move forward, halfway down or all the way down, low push-up. Inhale, upward dog, your cobra or your low cobra, and as you exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Here in your downward dog, bring your feet together, walk them in an inch or two, and extend your right leg up to the sky. So you're in your three-legged dog. Now you can find this with your left knee down, more of a tabletop. With your right leg lifted, bend your right knee. You can flip your dog. And from here, we'll come into half pigeon. Your right knee comes forward to your right thumb. Your left leg might have some room to walk it back behind you. And often there's room to bring this right foot a little forward, to the left and a little forward. You can even out your hips. You can set up the variation on your back. We've done that a few times. So you can set up the variation on your back if that's a better fit. And then here, lengthen and come forward. Now maybe a block under your right hip, or your left hip, or under your chest or your forehead. And take a big breath in. And a long breath out. A big inhale, and a big exhale. One breath at a time here, a steady and intentional foundation. the ground beneath you, your intention, your breath, all these different parts of your body touching the ground. So a lot less effort in holding yourself up. And you can notice that. You can notice if you're still holding yourself up, if you're holding on. Take a big breath in here. Empty out. Allow yourself to soften. Breathe in. And breathe out. Take a long inhale. And a full exhale. Set your hands under your shoulders and make your way back to your downward facing dog. You can also come to a tabletop, stick in a couple cat-cows, even a child's pose. Take a long breath in and a big breath out. Bring your feet together a little bit forward. Extend your left leg to the sky. So really check it with your foundation. You might find you can drop your right heel. Right leg is engaged. Maybe your right knee is down, so more of a tabletop. And with your left leg lifted, bend your left knee for your down dog hip opener. Again, the option to flip, take a breath or two, and set up your half pigeon on this side. Left knee now coming forward. Right leg walks back. And your left foot, if there's room, bring it over to the right. A little bit forward, untuck your back toes, your left knee in line with your hip, maybe a little more to the left. Stick in a block, set up the variation on your back if that works better. Take a long breath in and a long breath out. Challenging yourself, absolutely. Right? Sometimes half moon balancing is challenging. Slowing down in half pigeon is challenging. Being present is challenging. So challenge yourself, but without the struggle. Tune into your breath, steady foundation, intentional foundation. And allow yourself to enjoy this time that you have right here, right now. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Feel the sensations in your body. It might be surprising, but it can be enjoyable. You're in your body. You're feeling your body. Feel how much you're doing here. Take a long breath in. And a long breath out. Big inhale. And a big exhale. Take a full breath in. And a big breath out. Hands under your shoulders. One last downward facing dog. So again, the option for a tabletop, a child's pose, even stick in a flow or a three-legged dog. Take a deep breath in here. And a long breath out. And then bring your knees to your mat. Sit back over your heels. Come to seated. Extend your feet forward. Reach your hands forward. Now you can also have your feet flat just like you would in bridge. Strong core, lower back here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hover your shoulders. You can lift your feet to a hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come all the way down. Set your feet flat on your mat to come up for your bridge. Feet are flat about hips width distance. Steady and intentional foundation, and then lift up. Lift your hips up. Arms and hands can be alongside you. You can use your hands or a block under your hips for lift. If you want to, interlace your fingers under your low back. Sometimes you can wiggle your shoulders under. That'll give you more lift. Knuckles towards your heels. You might have to adjust your feet once you come up. Feel your feet flat, straight, about hips width distance. And as your hips lift, knees track over ankles. Without moving your feet, it's like you're pressing them down and forward. Gives you the support, physical support you need to lift up. Your breath will give you the support you need to lift up physically, but also energetically, mentally, right? Lightening up. Take one more big inhale here. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Soles of your feet together, knees to the side for Supta Baddha Konasana. Take a big breath in here and empty out. Another big inhale. And a big exhale. Draw your knees to your chest, give them a squeeze, and let's add in happy baby. Knees come wider than your torso, long spine. You can grab the backs of your legs, or reach up, grab the soles of your feet. 90-degree bend in your knees, or close to it. And then maybe a little side-to-side movement here. If you like to extend your legs, you can extend your legs. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Draw your knees to your chest. Drop them over to your right for your twist. You can work with any variation you like here. And if it works, your gaze can go to the opposite side. Big breath in. And a breath out. And then come through center and switch your twist. Knees heavy, shoulders heavy. Gaze can go to the opposite side. Just mindful that turning your head works for your neck and shoulders. If not, gaze can stay up, neck neutral. Take a breath in. Then a breath out. Come on back to center. And we'll set it for Shavasana. Short Shavasana. Legs can be straight out. You can have your feet together and your knees wide. And you can take your legs up against a wall. You can also work with your feet at the outer edges of your mat and your knees together. So this and Supta Baddha Konasana give your low back a little more support. Feel it out. Feel what you need. Steady foundation, supporting yourself, allowing yourself to be supported. Take a really big breath in here. And empty out. wiggle your fingers and toes. You can bring some gentle movement to your body. Draw your knees to your chest. Big breath in. And a long breath out. Here you can roll to one side. Make your way to seated. Hands to your heart. Set your gaze, lower your gaze, or close your eyes. Together, let's take a big breath in. And a long breath out. And drawing your thumbs to your forehead, to your third eye center. Together we say, Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining me for this practice today. Thanks for joining me for this challenge so far. We have 2 days left, right? And the practice is over, but hopefully, right, your practice, our practice will continue. You can practice with me here. You can practice with me in my studio, Sanctuary Power Yoga. You can practice with me on my Patreon. We can keep practicing. And that's what we're going to do. The challenge isn't over yet. So for now, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you on your mat tomorrow.